Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Study with Medico. So in this video we will talking about class 10th physics chapter 1, and this is for Telangana state students and Andhra Pradesh state students because this is state level board examination and SSC class 10th. So the first chapter is reflection of light at curved surfaces. So this chapter is a very interesting chapter, and to understand this chapter in detail and to build your concepts very well, you need to understand the basics. So in this lecture we will talking about all these basics, and this is very helpful for you, and you will never confuse later in this chapter. Okay, so in class 7th and 8th you have learnt about the image formation in a plane mirror. So first let us see what is the plane mirror. So what is a plane mirror? What is a spherical mirror? So a plane mirror is basically, let me explain what is the plane mirror. So a plane mirror have two sides. Okay, the front side where you can see your image and where the part is the reflecting part, and the other side of the plane mirror, the back side, is the silver painting. Okay, there is a silver painting at the back side. So when you basically see a mirror, you will find two surfaces. The front surface will be very reflecting, shining, and you can see your image there, and the back side of the mirror you can see there is a silver painting or any sort of paintings there. So that's why you are able to see your face. Okay, next thing, what is a curved mirror? So a curved mirror is basically not straight one, it is having some curving, it is like C shaped, you can say C shaped, and you can find this side. So first let me explain what is the reflecting part of the mirror and what is non-reflecting part. So if I consider a plane mirror, we have two surfaces. One surface is a reflecting one, very shiny, and you can see your image there, and the other surface, that is a back side, it is painted with a silver. So the part that is painted and that where you cannot see your face, you cannot see your image, that is called non-reflecting, and the front one where you can see your face, your image, that is called the reflecting part. So the non-reflecting part we will show by these lines. Okay, so let me represent a plane mirror for you. So this is a line I have drawn, and this part is the part where you can see your face, and the back side where there is a silver painting and you cannot see your image or face. Okay, so I represent the non-reflecting part with lines like this. Okay, so this is called a plane mirror representation. And talking about what is a curved mirror and why curved mirrors are also called spherical mirrors, we'll talk about this. So a curved mirror is basically not straight one, it is like C shaped, having curving, and this are of two types. One is called concave mirror basically, another is called convex mirror. So first you need to draw like this, and if you want to represent a concave mirror, so you need to draw the lines, that is non-reflecting part you have to represent by these lines. Okay, this is called a concave mirror, and the another one same, but the non-reflecting part is inside. Can you see the difference? Can you differentiate a concave and a convex mirror? So a concave mirror is basically having the non-reflecting part outside, and a convex mirror is having non-reflecting part inside. So if you hold a concave mirror, you can see your face from this side. Okay, and when you hold a convex mirror, you can form your image this side. Okay, so that is the thing, and let me give you a trick to remember what is a concave and the convex mirror and how to represent it. So basically I have drawn a C shape. Okay, and if I am representing the lines here, that is representing the non-reflecting surface here, and the light rays are coming in a cave, because this is a curved one, and imagine like it is a den of a lion, and you're going into that, like light rays are coming into the den, so they are concave, they're coming into the cave. Okay, and for a convex mirror you have non-reflecting surface inside and the rays are just coming here. Okay, so this is your convex mirror. So we have seen about plane mirror, how to represent it, what is a plane mirror, what is non-reflecting part, what is reflecting part, and your concave and convex mirror. So why concave and convex mirrors are also called spherical mirrors, let me explain. So these are also called spherical mirrors. See, when I'm drawing this half circle, so this is a half circle, okay, and this is another half circle. If I draw, so this becomes a spherical mirror. Okay, this becomes a spherical mirror. But if I cut the spherical mirror at the center and make it two different halves, like semi-spherical, so I can say these are the part of the spherical mirror. So I can say this concave mirror or your convex mirror are the part of the spherical mirrors only. See, suppose I have taken a ball. Imagine that you have a ball, the ball with which you play cricket, right? So that ball you have, and I'm cutting the ball at the center and dividing this ball into two halves. Okay, and the part that you can the outside part, if you will see, like now I have cutted the ball, and the outside part you can see this part. If you see your image this side, if you can get reflection at this side, light rays are falling at this side, your image is forming, you can see your face, means this is a reflecting surface, so you can say this is the convex mirror. And the part, if you are seeing your image and the light rays are going here, then you can say this is the concave part. So if you're not understanding, don't worry, we will see this in detail. I was just giving you some idea. Okay, so you might have got doubts while observing your image in bulged surfaces. Bulged surfaces, nothing but curved surfaces like concave and convex mirrors. So sometimes at curved surfaces, when you see your image, you look so fat, or sometimes you look so thin. So this is all because of mirrors. And let us see the principle on which mirrors work. And these are some questions given, and like is the image formed by a bulged surface same as the image formed by a plane mirror? No. Is the mirror used in automobiles is a plane mirror? No, it is not a plane mirror, it is basically a convex mirror. Why it is showing small images? Because it is a convex mirror. And why does our image appear thin or bulged in some mirrors? Because of their curvedness. Okay, we'll see what is that. Can we see inverted image in any mirror? Yes, of course. Can we focus sunlight at a point using a mirror instead of magnifying glass? Yes, you can use by in concave mirror, where you can focus all sun rays at a particular point. Are the angles of reflection and angles of incidence always equal? Also equal for reflection by curved surfaces? So yes, they are equal. Angle of reflection and angle of incidence are always equal, whether it is a plane mirror or it is a curved mirror in the sense concave and convex mirrors. Okay, let us discuss about the reflection of light by spherical mirrors in this lesson to get clarified for the above questions. So these questions you can answer after you have completed the chapter. So listen each and everything in detail. I will be explaining everything in detail, and you need to listen it carefully, and after completing the chapter, read this chapter by your own, and if you get any doubt, put it in the comment section. I will definitely go through it and I will answer your doubts. And if you need some more updates, like when your exam is going to be conducted, and what chapters are important, and which questions I should study for the exam, important questions that are frequently asked questions, and how to gain full and full marks in your projects, and how to handle languages along with your subjects like social science, mathematics, and all, and any other information if you want. So you can join my Telegram channel. So first you need to install the app called Telegram application, and go and search this in your Play Store, and then download the app, and then go to the link given in your description and also in the comment section. You go through it and join the Telegram, and whatever videos I will be uploading for your class 10 will be first given there, and so that you can complete your syllabus before your exam. Okay, daily I will be uploading small topics or the whole chapter, and if you watch those, it will be more than enough for cracking your exam. Okay, reflection of light by spherical mirrors. So you know what are spherical mirrors. I think I should repeat it because some of you might not get that, because I got in so much flow. So let me explain what is a spherical mirror. A spherical mirror is basically like this. So this is the whole ball like mirror. So imagine like that ball is not made up of rubber, it is made up of glass, it's made up of a mirror. So this is called spherical mirror. And if I cut this spherical mirror into two halves, then also the part what I will get, like I'm getting half spherical, that is called semi spherical, or you can say a curved surface I'm getting, and based on the reflecting and non-reflecting, I can divide it into two types of mirrors. One is called concave, like light rays are coming in the cave, and that is called convex. So this are also called spherical mirrors. So I can say that concave and convex mirrors are also called spherical mirrors. Okay, so let us see the laws of reflection. So laws of reflection, the first law is, I will explain you at this plain side. Okay, here I will explain you laws of reflection. So the first law is, suppose I am taking you know about laws of reflection on plane surface. So first I will recap you about plane mirrors. Okay, so this, suppose I have taken a plane mirror, and remember how I said you to represent a plane mirror. So I have to draw a line, and for reflecting surface you have to leave like that, and for non-reflecting surface you have to draw lines like this. Okay, so this is the reflecting surface, this one is the reflecting surface, and this one is the non-reflecting surface, and suppose this is a normal. Okay, this is a normal. So what is normal? Basically this is just a reference line. Okay, and suppose a light ray is falling here. Okay, this is called incident light because it is coming on the mirror. So the rays, light rays, you know what is a light? So light a single light is called ray. Okay, so this a ray is falling on the plane mirror. Okay, a light ray is falling on the plane mirror, and I will call this light ray as incident light because it is coming on the mirror. Incident, in, it is coming in the mirror. Okay, it is falling on the mirror, so I will call it as incident light ray. Okay, and if it is going out of the mirror, leaving the mirror, then I will call it as reflected ray. So why the ray did not go inside the mirror? Because the mirror is opaque. Okay, because there is a silver painting, so it cannot come inside, because now it became opaque. Because of silver painting, the light ray cannot go inside the mirror, it just reflected out of the mirror. Okay, so at what angle the incident light ray has fallen on the mirror, at the same angle the reflected ray will leave the mirror. But the condition is the angle made by the incident light with the normal will be equal as the angle formed by the reflected ray with the normal. So one thing you need to remember, that the angle formed by the incident light ray with the normal will be equal to the angle formed by the reflected light ray with the normal. So what I mean to say is, I have a line called normal. This normal line is the reference line, and the light ray that is falling on the mirror is called your incident light, and the light ray that is leaving the mirror is called reflected light, and the angle formed by the incident light with the normal, not with the plane mirror, not this one, this one, okay, this one, I will change the color, not this one, not this is wrong. Many students, what they do, they consider the incident light ray angle with the plane mirror, but this is wrong. You have to consider the angle between incident light ray and the normal. Okay, so this is always equal. Incident light ray, this arrow is representing that the light is falling on the mirror, and this arrow is representing that light ray is coming out of the mirror, and at the what angle this incident ray is making with the normal, same angle is made with the reflected ray with the normal. Okay, so this is the first law. This is called first law. What is the first law? Angle of incidence. I am representing angle of incidence this way. I represent that this is angle of incidence. Okay, and this is equal with angle of reflection. So this is called your first law. Remember this. First law is angle of incidence is equal with the angle of reflection. I think you have studied all these three laws in very detail in your class 8 only, but I am just giving you quick recap of these topics. Okay, now second law. Let us see what is the second law. In second law, you have seen that. So what is the second law? Second law is basically the angle is equal, that is of first law. The second law says that the normal, the incident ray, see I am drawing the arrow like this, and the reflected ray are on the same plane. So many students do not get this. What is the meaning of same plane? What does it mean, same plane? So I will explain you. Same plane in the sense, we have actually, I should use a little bit mathematics here. Don't get scared by listening what she's gonna to teach mathematics now. No. Just a basic thing. You have three planes, okay? You have three planes. So I am drawing. I'm explaining you what are the three planes. Okay, what are the three planes? The first plane is your x plane, that is quite horizontal, you can say. This horizontal plane is called x plane. Okay, one is called y plane, that is vertical. Okay, vertical y plane, and the other plane is like this, cross. Okay, this is called z plane. But I am drawing all these three rays, that is normal, incident ray and reflected ray, in the same plane, that is the x plane, or you can, if you draw vertically, that will be a y plane. See, I have drawn this on my screen. Okay, I've drawn this three lines on my screen: incident, reflected, and this is normal. Okay, so I'm drawing this on a single plane. So this is called a same plane, that is plane of the paper or plane of my screen, okay, or plane of the board. So plane in this sense, this is your you can consider any plane, x plane also, y plane also, z plane also, but at a time you have to consider one plane, either x plane, either y plane, or either z plane. Okay, this is called the same plane. These are at the same plane. This is your normal, x plane, y plane. I am drawing all these on my single phone screen, isn't it? So this is called your plane. Now let us talk what is written here. Let us discuss line by line. Okay, so a light ray incident at an angle with the normal at the point of incident will get reflected, making equal angle with the normal. So with what I have to consider? I have to consider with the normal, and normal is a reference line. Okay, so a light ray is incident at an angle with the normal at the point of incidence and will get reflected, making equal angle. The angles should be equal. This is your first law. This law is true for all surfaces. Yes, it is true for your plane surface, for your curved surface. See, I will demonstrate you how to draw for curved surfaces. Okay, let me show. Okay, so see here I am drawing a curved surface. Let us take a concave surface. So for concave surface I am drawing the non-reflecting part outside. Okay, and this is the reflecting part. Here the rays will form. So this I have drawn normal. Okay, imaginary normal. And now a light has incident. Okay, let me go practical. So a light ray has fallen, not straight. Okay, it has fallen like this. Okay, so this is the incident line. I am showing it with the arrow. We draw clearly. Yeah, so I am first drawing incident light. Okay, so this is your incident light. It has fallen. Now I am drawing a normal. This is the normal, and now I am drawing the reflected ray at the same angle. Okay, at the same angle. So this angle is called angle of incidence and this angle is called angle of reflection. Both are also equal, but the problem here is the reflected surface is now curved, and for curved surface knowing about the normal, how to know about the normal is difficult. So we will demonstrate it with an experiment. Okay, that is activity 1. Here we will demonstrate, and a light ray, let us read further. This law is true for all surfaces, be it a plane surface or a curved one. The important words here are the angle made with normal at the point of incidence. If for any surface can decide the normal and find the incident angle, it is possible to deduce the angle made by the reflected ray. It is very easy to find a normal at any point on the plane surface, but for curved surfaces or uneven surfaces, that is not straightforward, we need to quite careful how to draw the normal. So how it is given in your book, I will explain according to that. So see, activity 1. In this activity 1, finding the normal to a curved surface. So finding out normal for a curved surface is quite difficult, because see, this is a curved surface and I don't know where is the normal. So we basically first know about how to find normal for a curved surface. Okay, so there is a very beautiful experiment given here, and let's look at it. Okay, let's look at it carefully. Yes, so take a small piece of thin foam or rubber you have to take. Thin foam, or you can take a rubber. So like the sole of a slipper, so the slipper is made of rubber only, so I can take the sole of the slipper and put some pins along a straight line on the foam as shown in the figure. So see, here in this figure you can see that I have taken a straight rubber and I have kept attached some pins here. These are the pins, and now I have just bent the rubber with my fingers. Okay, just I have bent the rubber with my fingers, and now it has taken a curved shape. Okay, and now you can see that the all pins are directed towards a particular side, isn't it? The pins are directed towards a particular side, as if they will merge at a particular point here. They'll merge here, isn't it? Can you notice that all the pins are directed towards this side, and it seems like they will merge here at this particular point, isn't it? So this particular point you can see, and in this one I have just changed the direction. I have bent the rubber foam outwards, and the pins are going away from it, but their ends are directed towards a particular side, and they seem to be merging at a particular point here, isn't it? So it's a very simple experiment. See, all these pins are perpendicular to the plane of foam. So all these pins I have attached are perpendicular. Perpendicular means they are making 90 degrees. Okay, isn't it? They are straight, making 90 degree with the rubber, or you can say foam. So if the foam is considered as a mirror, suppose this is a plain mirror, and the pins are attached perpendicularly, so you can imagine it as a mirror. So each pin would represent the normal at that point. So the pin that is attached, let us suppose these pins are representing us normal. Okay, these pins are nothing but normal. Alright, so any ray incident at that point, at the point where the pin makes contact with the surface, will reflect with the same angle as the incident ray made with the pins. Okay, I will explain you. Now bend the foam piece inwards as shown, and let's see what happens. They still represent the normal at various points, but you will notice that all pins tend to converge at a point or intersect at a point. If we bend the foam piece outwards, we will see pins seem to move away from each other. In other words, they diverge as shown in figure 1c. So now let me explain you. So I have attached pins here, and these pins are perpendicular to the foam rubber, means making 90 degree with the rubber or foam, you can say. Now I have with the help of my fingers, I have bent this foam rubber into a curved shape, and these pins are directed this side, and you can see their heads are directed towards a particular side, and they seem to be merging at a particular point here. So let us suppose that each pin is representing as a normal. So if this is a normal, suppose, so let me zoom the picture. Yeah, so if suppose this is the normal, and incident ray is falling here, I'm representing it with the arrow. So with the same angle it will go outward, isn't it? So this is a normal. The spin is representing you normal, and this is your incident ray, and this is your reflected ray. You can see it with the arrows, the incident ray directed toward this side and reflected ray directed towards this side. So these two angles are equal, as I have already explained about plane mirror. Now let us see for curved mirror. So I have zoomed the picture, and yes, so you can see here that this is a curved mirror. Suppose this foam rubber is a curved mirror, and these pins are your normal. These pins are normal, and you can see that suppose a incident ray has come at the surface here. It has been incident here, and this is the incident line, and this is the normal, and this is the reflected ray. So now you can see that this is the normal, and this is the incident line, incident ray, and this is the reflected ray. Still they are making the same angle, isn't it? Still they are making the same angle, and this is the normal. Now you can see that normal is not straight. Normal is not like this. Normal is not straight, not like this, but it has a quite, this side, because the mirror has been curved, and I have bented the foam or rubber. Okay, so you can see that the normal is not now straight. It is not straight now, and it is somewhat tilted. So this is your incident, and this is your reflected. Still they are making the same angle with the normal. Incident ray has making same incident angle as that of reflected ray. So incident angle is equal to reflected angle. It is also valid for curved surfaces, isn't it? Yes. And this is for concave. Okay, and let us see for convex. So this is your convex side, and let us see. So this is your normal, and incident ray has been fallen, and this is the reflected ray. Still they are making same angle. Angle I is equal to angle R. Angle I is equal to angle R. So I can say that this law is valid for curved surfaces also. So by this experiment, I hope you have understood that. And let me again summarize. This is a plane mirror. Imagine that this is a plane mirror. I have taken a rubber foam, and with the help of my fingers I have bent this rubber foam this side, and the pins are directed towards here, and they are merging at this point, and this is nothing but your normal. All these pins are representing a normal, and when the incident light is falling, the reflected light is getting reflected at the same angle. So I can say that angle I is equal to angle R. So in this video I have completed activity 1, and I have explained the basics of this chapter. What is the plane mirror, what is the curved mirror, what is the spherical mirror, and this activity I have explained what is the normal, what is incident ray, what is reflected ray, why angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. And once yourself you read, and if you have any doubt, you drop it on the comment section, and yes, give your feedback, like how at what areas I should work to explain you better. And yes, don't forget to subscribe the channel, and like it if you really understand what I explain you. And yes, don't forget to share with your friends, and when more students are engaging in our videos, I will make more and more and complete your syllabus soon. So this was for the first lecture, and meet you in the next.